up Taste and Isis. Isis is the first guy in Lithuania who ever got picked up by esports team, and he's also the youngest. I think he's barely 17. It's fun to note.
Yeah, so obviously Hudgy and I think is Hudgy the only remaining guy? I think he is from the Oakland Qualifiers.
No,
Tony's still there.
Tony was there. I believe it was Tony, Hutz, Fake, and Das, the original lineup.
So obviously Hayes coming over from Liquid. So looks like again they're going. Let's have a look. So just jump on board with Hayes. It is going to be a school apartments, but looks a bit run. Or are they going? No, they're going a bit further. I think he's going further afield. They're going to spread. They've got no one around them really, so it looks like they're going to pass by apartments and school and go for the spread loot.
What I'm looking at is South Georgia Bowl have 2 teams and Nova has 2 teams, and they're all really close to each other.
Ah, the old front 6 back 6 challenge.
Yeah, and continues in the city in Novo. So we'll have some teams fighting in the near future.
Okay, yeah, team 6 and team 4 down in Novo. I think they're going to be fine. I think it's like you say, the Georgia ones are probably going to fight early on. I see a couple of people long dropping as well. Or is that a disconnect? Okay, that's a disconnect. We'll ignore that. We'll ignore that. You know, you didn't see that. Don't worry. These things happened. Oh,
that's a circle.
Word. That is that's a Zaki circle. I've not seen one of them. I don't think are competitive.
No, that's been a while. But it's very interesting that nobody chose to go no Georgia Bowl. Like when the teams are landing in the air, they can easily see if there's no one, but instead they choose to both land in Georgia Bowl. And right now it's a stalemate. Everybody's just sitting in their respective building, not really doing a whole lot.
Yeah, and the plane cut straight across there as well. It went straight across
exactly.
the Georgia Bowl, didn't it? So it was an easy drop for anyone that wanted to go for it. Maybe hang on to the last. There is only 13 teams in this one, I see, because we did have 909 teams in total signing up. You guys at Kingwin are going to be running the gauntlet, but you're lucky because you got kind of the invite, didn't you? The invite to the final sort of final challenge, as it were. You don't need to run this whole gauntlet.
We were very happy to be invited to the close qualifiers because, especially in this game, I mean, you can be the world best team, but we only land in South Georgia Bowl, right? If you look at South Georgia Bowl from an overview, right now the only vehicle to see is a 3-seater bike all the way in the west side of the road. And if we had to fight off maybe 1 or 2 teams here and then grab that bike, and the circle was, let's say, in Milta Power, it would be really hard for us to get there, even though, like, you know, we're a good team. So, yeah, we're really excited to just be in the close qualifier, and all the smaller things can go into this game, you know. You can have a bad game in a best out of 3, anything can happen.
Yeah, and we saw that quite a bit, obviously with the Oakland qualifiers. I'm thinking back to them, so, oh, Big Bomb just got tagged up heavily. So I'm expecting these guys to maybe exchange. I'm looking at North Georgia at the moment, just going to see. I'll keep the camera here. I don't think they're going to be trading blows yet. But we saw that in the Oakland qualifiers. Obviously, you guys weren't lucky enough to get there overall. I mean, how do you find it? Obviously, while you are in that close qualifiers, there's still only 3 spots up for grabs, and there's a lot of good teams in there.
I can't remember. Is it a best out of 5? Is it a best out of 7? How is it? I mean,
yeah, best of 5, I think.
What really went wrong in the Oakland qualifiers? The first day we had like okay-ish luck. I mean, we won all 3 games the first day. The second day, I think everything that could go wrong went wrong. And in the best out of 3, nothing can really go wrong. Like, we were super unlucky with the vehicles. The circle were really far away from us. We didn't have a single game where we had like enough vehicles to just, you know, have a good time, or any circles spawning close to us. In the best out of 5, that's nullified a little bit, where you can take out some of the randomness. But especially in best out of 3, if you have one really bad game, you're gonna have to like pretty much win the other 2 games if you want a chance to qualifying.
Well, these guys in North Georgia, Olaf does manage to get himself a tag. That was Kamanolum on the roof. Went pretty balls deep. I think he had VSS in his hand. Yeah, he does VSS. Tried to go for the scoped up shot. Didn't really work out for him. So Olaf, they know that they're obviously there. They've been kind of staring at each other while they loot. It's one of those moments, and I think they've finally decided to engage with one another. You sound like you say you're a Milta team.
Oh no, we land in South Georgia Bowl.
South Georgia, yeah. I was gonna say you're not. I was gonna say if you're going Milta these days, I was just thinking. I was like, surely you're challenging Vitality, right? And then
oh no, we fight off anyone that lands in South Georgia Bowl. That's our beauty. That's our baby.
So are you more like a front 6, back 6? Like which is the preference here?
I mean, we just take all the ground, and if anybody else land there, we make sure they can't move. They just don't have fun playing the game, basically.
That's what I like to hear. We take all the ground. It's just all
Yeah,
us.
we just make sure that they're boxed in the little corner and they can't really get away unless they want to jump into the water.
I mean, it is a decent area, but like you said, there can often be problems with vehicles in and around it. I would say that's the only downside to it sometimes.
Yes.
It can be started
Right
sometimes.
now we're being challenged because if you see the hospital and just south of it, we have Alliance always landing there. They like to take the hospital and come in south of it. So all the vehicles south of Georgia Bowl, they're gone. And towards North Georgia Bowl, people might land. So yeah, you can be really south out of vehicles, and that's the only issue. It's usually not too bad. But I just took this game as an example. If you go up, you go look from the sky. There's only a 3-seater. And if you have a team just in the south, they will take all the vehicles in a close vicinity. But, I mean, we like it. We have really good performance from there.
Yeah, like you say, there's just a 3-seater there. But luckily it doesn't matter. There's a lot of space. And actually, talking about people adapting, we have Big Clan already central in the circle. Let's talk about the circle. Obviously, there has been a number of adjustments. Obviously, throughout, I would say, scrims probably for the last 4 months. Maybe even longer than that. There's been a lot of talk about the circles, a lot of testing of circles, a little trial of circles. How does yourself and the pro scene feel about the circles? Obviously, we've just seen PUBG Corp coming out saying they're going to start addressing the blue zone centralization a little bit, which has obviously been demanded effectively by pro teams.
So what we did with the circles, I don't know if you have looked into it. We felt like the first circle was a little bit too big. And the second and the third string, they're just like really slow. There's 3 minutes in between. They didn't really move that much. So we made the first circle a lot smaller. And then we made some of the bigger circles rotate even faster. But what we did to kind of make the game not feel a lot faster, the blue moves a lot slower. So you have a lot of time to rotate between the strings, but the circle will just update quicker, and then the blues coming in a lot slower than they do on the current live servers. But we just felt like the first circle, you loot up, there's a little bit too much time to do that. I mean, you don't really need the first 10 minutes of doing absolutely nothing, and we want a little bit more action. We wanted people to be closer to each other, and that's kind of how the circles have evolved into. Because, yeah, the first 10 minutes, not a lot happens, and the bigger the circle is, it just makes for really boring gameplay, honestly. You go somewhere, you'll never ever see someone. But I really like the current circle that we have. It might use some tweaking, but you have time to fight, because when the blue comes, it'll never outrun you in the later stages. You always have a chance to just keep running with it. So a lot less people are dying to the blue. And another thing we did, we made the blue do a lot more damage. So I don't know if you remember back to IEM Oakland, a lot of people would sit in the blue and just heal and heal and heal. And you could probably get top 5 by just having 10, 11 medkits just sitting in the blue and healing. We took that completely out of the game because there's not really that much skill involved to just sit in the blue. So here everybody has a fair chance to move because you can really run on foot away from it. And yeah, you can't really sit and heal in it. So I really like how the circles have evolved and how we treat them.
Yeah, it was TSM when they did that a lot. I saw we did Wingman tournament yesterday, and Hollywood and Moleman actually still did that. I think it's Hollywood and Moleman that were doing it.
I'm not talking about the early circles. I'm actually talking towards the late game.
Yeah,
like
the later stuff. I think they did it till 3rd or maybe even 4th. They're out the circle. It was quite a long. I know we were mentioning it, and then they came in and died straight away. It was like,
I just remember back in the early stages, probably around IEM Oakland, even in the top 15 people alive, if you had on that map, so you could probably like get 3 or 4 more rankings, but just staying in the blue and a lone guy giving him all the meds. And that was like a super viable strategy, just because so many people did it. If they knew, oh, we can probably not make it into the circle, so we'll just sit and camp in the blue. And that's like, I'm talking a tiny circle. That is completely out of the game now. You'll die really fast.
Which is good. I know for a fact, obviously, because I did the H1Z1 Invitational years ago, the first TwitchCon. Obviously, that was Player Unknown that was behind the King of the Hill side then, and he was, and at the time, it's obviously what's known as gas running in H1Z1, and it was as soon as it sort of started happening in the main tournament, he's like, I hate this. I am going to remove this from the game, and like they massively patched it.
Are you looking at Big? They're currently playing dead while 2 vehicles are driving around them scouting. I don't think they've seen them, but Big are just been quiet and not showing at all. And now the general in Evetux is actually coming into the compound. Biggest taking shot.
The vehicles tucked right in as well, haven't they?
They missed their shots in Evetux. Are they gonna get him? They got him, but the general got away.
Easy gets him. So Evetux going down. Yeah, like you say, general gets off, or Le General off of the side.
I was watching that entire thing. So Big, they were just hiding the entire time, not showing, waiting for them to actually come and park their vehicles. That was very smart of them.
They've got three of them inside the house. Yeah, three of them all inside the house. Tucked them in. It's become the standard strategy almost these days. Get the bike in the house.
It requires a lot of patience not to take shots before they stop, because the guy in the motorcycle drove around the compound like 3 times, but they were really patient.
Delith Randall getting passed on by. That's the international passing by. He only has a micro Uzi by the looks of it. Oh, and a crossbow. Okay, yeah. So he really didn't want to take that fight on. He's not in a good way. Looks like there's a squad in Savernia. That's his teammates. There's another one passing by. Looks like all the real estate's starting to get gobbled up into the northern area. I guess they're expecting it maybe to swing that way. But this circle is looking like it may go Zarky. It's worrying. We're about to pop in. There's not too many outside. There's just that one squad down south and one passing by Pachinki, and everybody else will be inside the circle. Tony Sosa is having a little drive around. I think he's just finishing off that vehicle. Or was he trying to
they're doing, you know, they move in super early. They can you always need loot. Like a lot of pro players, they do what the Big are doing right now. They loot for about 2 minutes and then they go straight to the center, because you honestly don't need like 10 first aid kits, everybody with scopes, 300 bullets. So when you get a kill and you see there's nobody around you, you obviously want to go loot them.
Yeah, I was just looking at the med packs actually. I didn't think HUDG had too much.
Oh no.
It might have just been a delay. Let's have a look. Because it does delay. Yeah, he's got no first aids. Only got 15 bandages. So he's
we usually happy if we have 1 or 2 first aids and, you know, just a red dot, 150 bullets, and, you know, yeah, we're fine. We can win this game. We'll probably get a few kills along the lines. And we honestly, like, a lot of teams prioritize getting a good position early on in the circle rather than, like, you know, coming in late and then having more loot. And that is definitely what Big did this time around, and probably why they chose to go loot that guy.
Let's have a look at these vehicles. You can see some coming in. Are they going to... Looks like they're going to swing round towards Big. I think that's the route they're going to go. No, they're going to pass on by. Okay, passing on by. There is 2 squads off to the north, so 11 and 10 are engaging with one another. Car 98 from Roku's Tar, trying to land some shots. Needs to go for that lean around the corner. You got to be... It can't be a pro if you don't lean, can you?
And then, I mean, honestly, when people are talking about leaning, I always lean when I shoot, but that's because 90% of the time when you shoot, you're in cover. So you're just used to leaning. So once upon a time when you stand in the open with no cover, you still lean just because you're always used to leaning. I don't think there's any, you know, benefits to leaning when you're not in cover, but it just looks kind of funny. But it's just because you should have a habit of always being bad cover when you shoot and lean when you shoot.
Okay, just balancing out the audio a little bit. Apparently you were louder than me. It doesn't sound like it in my eyes, but apparently it is. Who would have thought? But this team 10, they're going to get away. Let's have a look. Okay, so where they're going, I mean, they have the hillside. Oh, well, HUDG about to...
Yeah.
Let's go over to Big Clan. Swing on over there. It is Young and Star trying to push in there. HUDG around the corner. Tony Sosa's going to push in. That'll be easy frag for them. They've took down Impulsive as well. Where are the other two? Well, Jay-Z is going to get in his UAZ and get the hell out of there. But he's going to be running straight into squad 13, I think, in the distance. Is he going to go over the hill straight into them? Gets away with just about nothing. No, gets picked off at the last. Hayes takes him down. And that is another squad pickup. And this is what I kind of expect from the top teams. We've been seeing a lot of 18 and 20 kill games early on. Obviously, NAP started off strong. We saw Vex get, what, 24 kills in the last matchup as well. This is what I expected in the early games.
Out an entire team up on the north side. They're what I would consider the strongest compound in the circle. But Snaking, Balos, and Evolium Alex just killed the team. I think they were all driving the same vehicle because I see 1 blown up US and 4 dead members right next to each other. So, yeah. The team that got taken out, they just drove past, they got blew up.
Yeah, it's so strong because of the walls, right? It's all the walls around the compound. It's a completely closed-in compound that gives you coverage from pretty much every angle.
I mean, you can see anyone approaching you. Like, nobody can really sneak up on you. And by the rocks, it's also fairly open. You can't just run from rock to rock and come up behind it. And also, one thing you want to take into consideration, when the circle here, you see most of the people there south. It's quite nice to go far north in these kind of circles, because yeah, everybody will be approaching from the south, and not a lot of people have the courage to go all the way up on the north side. So you know you can be fairly alone up there. There's yeah. One thing you can always...
BIG.
Oh, God.
Big Clan about to get some more visitors. It is Team 5. Big Bum's about to pass on by. Let's get Tony Sosa's view as he gets a peek on them. Takes the shots already. Olaf taking some serious damage. Olaf sucked. And actually returning the fire pretty well. Managed to get the peak, but again, they've got themselves in between a rock and a hard place there, and I don't fancy their chances trying to push them on this complex.
I'm surprised that they stopped. They turned around in the first place because, you know, Big they've blown up a few vehicles here, and there's actually vehicles outside the compound now. But with this spec for Circle, there's no reason to push a compound. These guys could have kept on driving.
Having a look around the map, see. Okay, next circle comes in. It's very much in favour of Big. It does mean these guys on the edge. I'm seeing Stalker's the last man. He's taking shots with the Kar 98. Should be able to get the finishing shot on Fresh Juice. He's got his buddy behind there. Looks like he's going to lay down some smoke and try and get out and res him. Don't do it, buddy. Don't do it. Just let him crawl. This is one of those moments, right, where the pro team's just like, you're dead. I'm leaving you. Right? Whereas these guys are trying desperately to res each other.
Oh, yeah. I can recall myself from 6 months ago. I would be like the type of guy who would be like, you can rest me, just do it. And right now when you're knocked, you just don't say anything. If you can get into cover, that's fine. But there's no, like, it's super risky to rest people unless they're 100% safe. But it kind of takes discipline and know when you're safe and not safe. But that is definitely something that I've changed over time and improved on myself.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those situations, right? Oh, he's going to land that one. Oh, I didn't get the knock, though. Hit him pretty hard. There's two of them now behind this tree. He's got him pinned. I don't know why the other guy just joined him behind the tree is beyond me. It's like, I'm already pinned. Yeah, come join me. We'll both be pinned together. Brilliant.
I'd honestly say that Stalker or Straker is the brave guy here. He doesn't have a helmet. I think he's all alone.
Yeah.
I saw Team 6 like earlier on the map, northwest side, but they must have been killed. I don't know when. But he's all alone in his team. He doesn't have a helmet and he's trying to take a fight. I respect that.
He's just like me. In solo mode. It's just like, that's the thing, right? We're not into the pro time like this, just hide and wait. While technically they should be. Looks like Poseidon's getting tagged up. His vehicle's going to get the hell out of there. This guy's got plenty of damage. He's going to get himself behind the cover and get support. So they managed to get themselves in position. Stryker, as you say, in position. BIG very much in position. The team that engaged him, which was number 5, I believe, have obviously wisely decided to step away. They've gone over towards the crashed plane. Not too sure why they've just gone back to that bunker. I mean, they do have the cover right of the circle to swing. I'm looking at 13 and 7. Have they got vehicles in that complex, so Team 7 should be safe to be able to get out of there. It shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah. Honestly, if I was Team 7 and you had that spot, you would have probably played 2 at the bunker and 2 at the compound because you can see each other. And if somebody takes the bunker like here, they're gonna be annoying to deal with. So if maybe Team 7 had 4 people alive, they could have played split 2 and 2, and they would have been really strong to move, you know, further south into the circle.
Okay,
but now it's
6 Stryker, the man on his own. He's coming up behind Team 5 now. So let's see what he can do solo, because I don't think there's going to be too much happening elsewhere. He's going to just sit. He's just going to sit here on the edge of the circle, isn't he? He sees the crate. He's like, whoa.
Have we checked what's in the crate?
Let's have a quick spin over there. It's empty. Someone's had it.
Oh yeah, it is. Didn't they change the spectator mode for that so you could see? Oh, you can. There's no tab on it. So you can see it's been loaded.
Dum, dum, dum. Okay, where's he going? Where's he going? He's coming around the side. Big Bum's just to the left of him. If he were just to come over the brow of this hill. This is the beauty of spec mode, right? They have no idea that they're next to each other. No idea. And like you say, no helmet at all. He's on his own.
I just wonder why he moves so much. Like, he was safe. The more you move, the bigger chance there is to run into a team. It's like he's progressing into the circle. He's been moving along the edge. And actually, as we speak, he has an AWM on his back. So he did loot the crate.
He's still in a helmet. He's got a tier 3 vest. Oh, look at him. If he just looked left. Now he sees him. There we go. Get prone.
He has AWM. Why is he not using it? I'm disappointed.
Oh, just start firing. Why not?
I mean...
Alright, next circle. Oh, look at that. Straight into BIG once again. And everybody now needs to make their moves, and they are starting to. Le General, those guys are going to make their move in towards BIG. BIG very much sitting pretty happily. I don't think there's really anyone that's going to be able to dislodge them. And this is the beauty, right? Big were the first into the circle. They were first to go very much center, and the circle has pretty much gone that way the whole time. We have the general. Now, these guys drove past earlier. Remember, they lost a squad member to Big, so they know that building is occupied, so they're not going to go down the hill towards them. But they do have people coming up behind. Here we go. Team 11's coming right up behind Lion King. He is pretty much got himself tucked in this bunker. I don't think that he's going to be worrying too much. They are on the brow of the hill above him, but he's basically stuck himself in there. Team 7 coming over the brow of the hill as well. I think 11 sees them. Looking across, I can see the International was peeking that way. Let's have a look around elsewhere. Team 12, they're going to be taking shots. D-my-R-G. Dimi, I don't know. I'm not even going to attempt it. He's trying to get up the hill either way, and he's kind of failing. Let's have a look.
I want to give you a tip. When you don't know how to pronounce the name you can do, so just call him Dimmy.
Dimmy.
That guy is Dimmy. Yep.
I like to just like bounce the words around a little bit, and we can figure it out, and then we just call him Bob.
Oh no, but I mean, Dimmy works. Everybody knows that's Dimmy, right?
Everybody knows who it is. Well, I do know someone. Striker with the AWM has just taken a shot on his own with the AWM. Gets another one. Olaf down. Big Bomb down. Peeks across the side. Gets a little glimpse of the other two. He's got to see Koshi. He sees... Is it Has or Ha? We're going to say server. He sees him. If he stops, he's going to take another. Oh, he's going for the res. Lined it up. Come on, son. Come on. No, he's second-guessing himself.
I don't know if you can see him. You can see it with the X-ray.
I don't think you can see it. Obviously, we can see it with the X-ray, but I don't think he can see it.
I want to go back to the blue circles. This is the beauty of the circles. You see how slow it's moving. If this was on the old patch, Striker would never have been able to take any of these shots. He does get seen, and they're all getting revived.
Switch over. I'm going to go over to Dimmy. Dimmy's just managed to get one down. They're all up on the brow of the hill now. He's going to come over, Scarel in hand. He's got Alex is coming towards him. Barlos downed by the tree. Snake King off the side. They're about to flank over. Should be able to go over the brow of the hill. He's holding. Very clever from Dimmy. Waiting for him to come and try and res his buddy. He gets himself the second down. Easy stuff. And then Snake King suddenly realizes, I'm the last man standing for my team. I should probably get the hell out of here. He's getting tagged from range. Oh, gets behind the tree with absolutely nothing to spare. If Dimmy can just go for a little flank, he'd get a perfect shot on him.
At the same time, across the map, Team 3 ran up and wiped the squad the Striker was shooting at, and Striker is still alive, our lone warrior with the AWM. Team 3 saves him by killing the remaining 3 or 4 members from... I don't remember the team name.
Look at that crate dropping down next to him.
Look at another crate. He is getting pushed by Team 3, but I don't know if Team 3 knows about Striker because they wiped this... Oh, they seen him.
Yeah, they're taking shots on him. This circle is working still very much in favour of Big, by the way. I'm just going to keep my eye on them. They're very much in the centre circle. Striker has just got himself ducked down. Remember, he's got that AWM, so even if he's being pushed by these guys, it's a dangerous weapon to push against, despite the fact he is a solo player, but he's not going for the lean, he's going for the peak, and that's going to give his whole body an angle. Looks like he's down to 1 med kit as well. So, 1 first aid, sorry. So not looking so good for him anymore. And he's flanking it down. There we go. And I'm about to say he's pushing straight into Team 9 as well. Yeah, and nowhere to go really there.
He did get top 7 though. That's really good from a solo guy.
Let's have a look. Okay, across. 5 kills so far for Big Clan. They have a couple, but it's 3 and 9 that are about to conflict with each other. And I think 9 are in the better spot. Moss Time sees Fur, so it takes the shots. Downs 1. Teammates join in. They're going to finish him off. Get a little glimpse of him. Oh, he went for the reload with 21 bullets. That's something I do. And it's like, you shouldn't do that. There's going to be more. You've just downed 1. There's going to be someone else that will peek you. There's no reason to go for that quick reload. We got Death. You can't see the others through the trees. So let's have a look across. Okay, Team 11 making his way across. That's a solo player. He has Team 12 just over the ridge towards him. He's in view of Big Clan. And they are taking the shots in him. I think he's going to get picked off here. He's going to come across and sees himself running straight into Dimmy. Oh my god, Potato aim is real, but he does manage to get the tag down in the end. But no, Dimmy survives. Complete Potato work there. I think he was just in straight panic mode. I didn't see actually who got the kill. My UI didn't update. It wasn't big. They didn't get it. But they got shots. You can see the team that came down, Team 12, so they're getting lit up as well. But while that's actually giving chance for 13 to come around the side, 9 and 3 still engaging with one another. That's Delith, Moss Time, trying to get the peek across. But Delith just took down Lion, which means they're trading. What's that? 1 for 1. They're both down to 3 members. Let's pull up the tab. We can see 3-3. 13 has got 2. Team 8, which is Big Clan, have the 4 still standing. And 12 have the 4 still standing as well. They have, ooh, a knock. Tony Sosa knocked. Hello. That's big. Charlotte are going across. So that's Team 12 that are taking the peak on this ridge now. So a little too much peeking, but of course they still have the complex, so they're going to easily res him back
Look
up.
at the next circle. It's big again. They never have to move. It's gonna end on them.
Yeah, they have the perfect spot. And this complex is a very good complex as well. It's perfect.
You can see everything around it. It's really strong.
They've been in here early. Remember, they didn't have a great deal. They had to fight for it. There was a couple of squads that challenged them for it. And it's kind of worked out well for them. As we still see these guys basically taking each other out, right? Looking back at Moss. Time to die. Gets himself another tag, but gets caught out there in the end. Bloody managing to knock him out. Now, Kirito is close. If he has a nade, he might just be able to land it perfectly here. Move up to the next tree. Flank across. Yospus goes for the revive. Bloody going to go for the peak. Sees Kirito down low. Don't think he has a helmet anymore. No. No helmet for Bloody. If Death Randall goes for this peak, he's going to get himself an energy drink down. Car 98 is going to back off. Doesn't want to take it. They're getting pushed and pushed. And the circle, just 2 seconds left. And they're going to start having to move. And they are on the far edge of it. So it's going to be moving pretty quick. And now they're all going to have to move in. It's almost like the old 1840s type battle where everybody walks in towards each other and just fires. The time when nobody had a clue about tactics. Bloody is going to move up. Death Randall gets knocked. That's Sidon from Team 13. Bloody takes the shots, but is he going to get caught out by the blue here? They're going to try and take the shots on him. So Sidon is doing some work over there. Sees another peek, and that's going to be Evil's getting the knockdown on Bloody. He's going to get taken out. Moss Time to die. He's going to go down to the blue as well. As Kirito pushes up just 1 member. That is Yospus. He's been doing the revive train the whole way. He'll get taken down. And Kirito will finish him off, and now they're all going to push in, and there's not a great deal of cover. So Sidon on his own. Evil's very much pinned against that tree. His team's been lit up by Sidon a number of times. Sidon going for the push as well, and this is all doing Big Clan so many favors. So many favors. They're just getting all the free chances as they try and push on down. Sidon just drops his gun. Gets a peek, sees Evils. As he peeks a little too far, should be able to light him up, and he'll get the knock as well. And that's going to be him down. Now, Kirito, the only man standing for that squad off in the distance, he's just down one of Team 12 over on the left-hand side. So they're kind of split engaging right now. And meanwhile, Big just sit there in their complex, happy to watch everyone take each other out.
Yeah, we're down to Big, 2 solos. And is it 3 people left of Team 12? And Big is the only one in the compound. If Kirito feels like shooting, he can take him down. He takes a shot, he takes down Dimmy, but he gets finished. So, we're down to the final 3.
Sidon, who has been pretty close to Big the whole time, they've been sitting on this hill.
And like I said, Big is gonna get the circle again. I wanna take a moment to talk about Team 13. They were the team that lost one of their first members, but they've actually played it really well with staying alive this long. I don't know if you saw right before one of these circles, they sent a bike down and scouted out the entire circle. He gave up his life, but the only reason Poseidon is alive right now